Hello everybody, how are you? Beautiful Sunday here in Los Angeles. It's going up to 85 degrees today. Somebody told me yesterday it was 91 in New York City yesterday. Folks, we're getting unbelievable response from our latest series of videos about things you can only do in certain cities in Texas. We've had a video on Austin, Dallas, Houston, and I keep getting these emails, these notes on YouTube. Why don't you do Galveston? And I think that's a good idea. However, this video is going to be on an old favorite, a vacation paradise, and that is Corpus Christi. Folks, this is 10 things you can only do in Corpus Christi. Number one, roller coaster partly underwater. That's right, there's a roller coaster in Corpus Christi called the Big Wahoonie. Now, part of the appeal of the Big Wahoonie is after you climb that initial huge first incline and go hurtling back down toward the earth, you're actually going to be going underwater. That's right. You better learn how to hold your breath, because part of the roller coaster track is underwater, guys. You're going to go in and out of the water 7 times during the entire ride at the Big Wahoonie amusement park. And of course, that's also the name of this incredible roller coaster. Guys, it's a sensation down there in Corpus Christi. Just remember to practice holding your breath and timing it out. You don't want to come up with a mouthful of fish. That's number one in things you can only do in Corpus Christi, guys. Number two, Corpus Christi, of course, also, a lot of people refer to it, the area, as Corpus Christi / Padre Island. Padre Island, the beautiful and pristine island off the coast. As of February 2019, you can now take a zip line from the Corpus Christi shore out to Padre Island. It's a 27-minute zip line ride, guys. And to weigh you down to travel that far, they're going to strap rubber tires to your feet filled with cement, so you don't want to fall off. Do not fall off the Corpus Christi to Padre Island zip line. But with that added weight, you're going to go really fast. So to cushion the blow, they've got 19 bags of those packaging pellets ready to absorb the impact of anybody coming flying over. But you're going to love it. You're going to be just laughing and singing and cheering the whole way. It's that cool. Guys, it's the Corpus Christi to Padre Island zip line. Another thing you can only do in Corpus Christi, Texas. Number three, hey, everybody likes a cold mug of beer. Why not jump into the mug? That's right. At Jumpin' Mugs in Corpus Christi, you can order a mug that you can jump in and splash around. And guys, if you're willing to do a group rate, they're going to serve you a giant stein that you and your friends can jump in and splash around and drink the beer at the same time. Now, it has special additives that make the beer safe to drink and also splash around. And don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Science is on your side. But it's Jumpin' Mugs, a very popular place in Corpus Christi, guys. You haven't lived until you've taken a sip of your beer and then jumped in the whole thing. You're going to love it. And you might even want to take the group of your friends out there and get that big stein going. It's an Instagram shot no one can match. And that's number 3 on our list of things you can only do in Corpus Christi, Texas. Now, this one is a little bit more slow lane. It's a little bit more reflective, a little bit more history oriented. It's not the crazy drinking thing. It's not the crazy nightlife. But Corpus Christi, of course, has a very deep religious past. It's right in the name. Corpus Christi, Body of Christ. And at the Church of Corpus Christi, just off downtown, not that far from Jump-In Mugs, or Drunken Mugs, which you might be after too many Jumpin' Mugs. The Church of Corpus Christi has Mass at 7 a.m. on Sunday, 9 a.m., 11 a.m. They also have an afternoon Mass at 4 o'clock. And if you want to go on Saturday, they've got a 4:30 Mass. But that's not the most popular one. The most popular one is the 6-hour-long midnight Mass every Saturday night at midnight. It goes for 6 hours, guys. There's no break. So make sure you stop in the little boys' room, the little girls' room beforehand, because there ain't no turning back at the Church of Corpus Christi. You ain't got any turning back. You're going to have to be in there singing hosannas and enjoying the church service because, guys, it's totally immersive. There isn't any big screen TVs like you see at a lot of the mega churches these days. It's a personal, close-up, small group oriented 6-hour Mass. So if you or your family are interested in a church experience unlike any other, the Church of Corpus, it's actually the full name, I'll give you the full name, the Church of Corpus Christi Heights. Make sure you go to the Church of Corpus Christi Heights. And the funny thing is, it's not on an actual heights or a hill. It refers to the heights of your spirituality after you experience a 6-hour Mass. So guys, that's number 4 on our list of things you can only do in Corpus Christi, Texas. Number 5. Guys, Corpus Christi is a vacation destination for college students from around the Midwest, around the South, Canada. You don't get a lot of people coming from the West, right? They'll tend to go down to Mexico, something like that. But Corpus Christi pulls from multiple parts of Canada and the United States. And it's also ironically, or surprisingly is a better word, surprisingly popular among students from the University of Reykjavik in Iceland. They love to go down to Corpus for spring break. And so as a result of the government of Iceland's continual outreach, because they're so isolated up there, they will continually take steps to make friends with people from other country on a one-to-one basis. Guys, you're going to meet some cool people from Iceland at spring break because they have a special booth set up right there on the strip where people drink and cavort and act crazy right there on the strip down in Corpus. It's the Icelandic introduction. Meet an It's the short version is meet an Icelandic student, right? And you can talk to them, chat with them, find out about Iceland. And the big thing about spring break is swag. You're getting all kinds of swag from beverage companies, from beer companies. You're getting your beer koozies. You're getting all kinds of free swag. They're handing them out, trying to get you to use their brand. Well, the Welcome to Iceland Meet an Icelandic Student booth, they're going to give you a big bag of ice. And why? Because they got way too much of it up there in Iceland. They're going to bring some down and give it to you. That's number 5 on things you can only do in Corpus Christi. Now let's go back to Padre Island for number 6. So Padre Island, of course, Padre, the Spanish word for father, again, the religious and Hispanic history of the area, all tied together right there on Padre Island. But the other thing is it's a wildlife sanctuary. A lot of people don't know because a lot of the crew that go down to Corpus and Padre are real young. You know, they like the nightlife, they like the discos, they like the dance clubs. They want to be out there being wild, meeting people. And but if you have a family or you're interested in wildlife, go down to Padre. They have a wildlife sanctuary there. Now, the one animal that stands out above them all is native just to Padre Island. It's the padrasti bird. The padrasti bird was born and has not left. In other words, the species has not left the island ever, right? They don't migrate. They stay on Padre Island, the padrasti bird. And a lot of times people would come over through the Gulf and they'd hit that Padre Island. They think they're on Texas soil, but sometimes you had pirates, you had sailors, and they hadn't had any water for many weeks. and they tried to trap and shoot the Paddleboard bird. Guys, forget it. It's way too cunning. You'll never catch it. In fact, I don't think anybody has ever caught a Paddleboard bird. And now they're protected by the National Wildlife Department. So check it out. That's at Padre Island. They're about 3 feet tall. They're pink and a shade of yellow. It's really interesting. They have yellow undertones on their feathers. So when they take off in a flock from one side of the island to another, it's an amazing sight. That's the Paddleboard bird at Padre Island. That's number 6 on our list of things you can only do in Corpus Christi. Check these out on Google, guys. Before you go on vacation, you're going to want to see a lot of these sites. Number 7. Number 7 is that we're going back across the water to Corpus Christi this time, but it is a water sport I want to mention. And of course, stand-up paddleboarding is all the rage all over the world. People enjoy it because it is a challenge, but it's also something that most anybody can try and do. You can accomplish it pretty easy. It's not that hard to stand up once you get the hang of it. And you can peacefully make your way through the waterways around Corpus and really enjoy the sun and get that feel of being out on the water, standing, basically walking on water is what it is. And that was the inspiration for a unique church that is out on the water. It's the Paddleboard Church. That's right. You get on a paddleboard and you stand and face the priest. In this case, it's a Catholic church. You face the priest, and he's on a paddleboard. The altar boys are on paddleboards out there in Corpus Christi Bay in one of the shallower areas, so there's not a lot of waves to upend you if you're on the paddleboard. And guys, don't worry, it's a real short service. It's like 7 minutes. So if you can stand there on your paddleboard, and at the end, everybody raises their paddleboard in the air, and the priest goes, to end the Mass, the priest says, "And may the Lord be with you." And all the parishioners raise their paddles to the sky, and they say, "And also with you." And then it's done. And guys, it's a lot of fun. The combination of spirituality and being one with nature is such an appeal. That's number 7 on our list of things you can only do in Corpus Christi. Now, believe it or not, Corpus Christi started their own sort of fashion. It wasn't they didn't set out to do this, but over the years, the beachwear from Corpus became a fashion staple among the hot celebs in Hollywood, but also among the hoi polloi and the kind of the rich people, the Richie Riches in Dallas and Houston. Their beachwear became the cool kid thing to have. So you can't buy it anywhere else. There's a number of brands, but it's a unique look that is a unique beachwear look that you're not going to find in Palm Springs, in Palm Beach, anywhere, Martha's Vineyard. You're not going to find it. And the signature item in the Corpus Christi beachwear look that is so popular and expensive, to be honest with you, is the weed map shorts. The weed map shorts. Now remember, Corpus skews very young. And of course, the kids are interested in different things recreationally. Some people drink beer. Some people are interested in other entertainment options. And the weed map shorts is an actual weed map of medical marijuana stores throughout the Corpus Christi region, including Padre Island. And Padre, there's a couple of them over there. Those ones aren't actually legal, but the others are. And some enterprising person put the weed map right on the shorts, because sometimes people that are interested in purchasing weed, they can't remember where they last purchased it. And we're talking about legal medical marijuana that is legal in Corpus Christi. So that was a stroke of genius, putting the weed map right on the clothing. So they've expanded it from the shorts to the shirts. You can get handbags. You can get a watch band, which makes it real convenient. It's right there on your wrist. So guys, check it out. That's another thing you can only get it. You can't get it in the San Diego. You can't get it up there up on Cape Cod. Only in Corpus Christi, Texas. And number 8, or was that 8? Whatever. Let's do another one. Number 8, guys. The modern day life and our everyday trials and tribulations, we get caught up in it and we forget the history of an area. Well, how did Corpus Christi start? Why is it situated where it is? Well, it's at a confluence of an estuary, a stream, and a river all coming together. And that's why the original parishioners of the Church of Corpus Christi Heights called it Corpus Christi. So they were originally parishioners. Now, sometimes missionaries would name an area, right? That's very common in Southern California, for example. But in this case, the parishioners, the actual churchgoers, named the town and then named their church after the town. And the reason they came up with the body, it's to represent the combination of the triumvirate of the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, which is the belief of the Catholic religion. That there's three parts of the Lord. And so when they saw an estuary, a stream, and a river coming together to form Corpus Christi Bay, and this was in like 1749, they said, this is Corpus Christi. And our church is the Church of Corpus Christi. Guys, it's an inspirational story. You can find out more about this down there at the Corpus Christi Museum, right at the confluence of the stream, the estuary, and the river. It's a great tour, but it's more laid back. It's more educational. If you're interested in the wildlife of spring break, you're probably not going to be interested in that. Or maybe you are. Maybe you go there during the day, feed your mind, and relax, and then go out partying at night with your friends and do all that kind of stuff. And that's the great thing about Corpus Christi. You can do both. All right, we got two more. We're counting them down. These are 10 things you can only do in Corpus Christi. And this is really interesting. Number 9, the Corpus Christi mass transit system. Now, I know what you're saying. Joe, Corpus Christi is a little place. It is. It's not as big as Waco even, right? It's like 1/10 the size of Waco. Why do they have a mass transit system? Well, guys, it started with the partying ways that developed. It's a beach town. People go down there to have fun. It's beautiful, right? So some they go down, they have too many cocktails. Some of them try to swim over to Padre. Some of them make it. But they're wild. They're crazy. They're having fun. And, you don't want them driving. So they developed a mass transit system down there in Corpus Christi. Now, here's the interesting thing. They're actually surplus military tanks. And so these people, you don't ride, that's the thing, you don't ride in the tank though. The insurance would be off the charts, but you ride on the tank. Guys, it's a lot of fun, and they'll even let you ride on top of the gun part, the turret and the barrel of the tank. And, that's usually people break into song, and one story I heard from somebody that just got back from spring break, they said they were singing Old Town Road on top of the tank, but they changed the words. They were saying, I'm gonna take my tank down the Old Town Road, I'm gonna ride till I can no more. See what they did? So but that's the nature of a spring break town like that. It gets crazy, people have fun, but they get home safely. And if there was any conflict with the neighboring town, like let's say somebody from Waco decided to come over to Corpus and make some trouble, they've got the artillery to push them back all the way to Waco. That's number 9, guys. That leaves number 10 on our list of things you can only do in Corpus. And guys, this is an amazing thing. So Corpus being as old as it is, remember, it's on the bay. So it was one of the original villages, one of the original settlements. It's on the water. It's on one of the original settlements of that area, right? People just didn't take a helicopter to Austin and start a town. They came over the water. So it's very, very old part of Texas. And you know what's as old as Texas is Texas poker, okay? And there is a special version of Texas poker called the Corpus Christi River. Now, the Corpus Christi River, of course, the river is part of the 7-card stud. Everybody knows how to play. You play the river, you play the cards in front of you. But in Corpus Christi, they add 3 more extra cards that are turned, and then they fold the card in half, and they put it like a table tent. And so then you can make the decision, do they turn over the table tents and reveal the card? It's up to you to make the decision which of the 3. And then they do a shuffle, like a 3-card Monte, and then you have to guess which is the card that might be the winner for the hand. Guys, it's amazing. It's 3-card Monte style, Corpus Christi River, Texas, 7-card stud poker. It's called for short, they call it the Corpus Christi River, and some natives just call it the CCR. And some, jokers call it Credence poker, named after the other CCR, Credence Clearwater Revival, the famous band from the late 60s, early 70s. Guys, it's really for advanced players, but if you are an advanced player, that is a type of poker that you're really going to enjoy. I think you should give it a try. You might become wealthy, and then you just might buy your own tank. Folks, those are 10 things you can only do in Corpus Christi and Padre Island, Texas.